I have to say how much I enjoy seeing these things that are happening for a whole lot of reasons. And so I really do thank everyone for the presentations. They were just wonderful. And it's wonderful to do that. But what it seems to me, it's a serious celebration of state education. You know, one thing is the ads on TV, but it's another thing to see the things that people are doing and the substantial things that happen. I don't know whether you've done this already, whether you're thinking about doing this, but whether somehow you can find a way to report those sorts of things to your parents. You know, these are the things we're doing in the school, so that the parents see, wow, look at this. This is a really substantial thing to do, and report, to each other, to other schools, but to all the teachers in the staff, that they know that these things are happening, because it actually is exemplary practice. Every single one of those examples you could see was detailed and substantial. You might also like to think about writing it up for a teacher journal. Now, the Maths Association has a primary journal and a secondary journal, and a senior secondary journal, but just the primary and the secondary journal, that you might like to think about writing up the experience for them, because that's what the journals are. They're journals of teachers for teachers, and to share the experiences that you have if you have a chance. And there are other journals, no doubt, that you might like to do that too. I think right at the start someone mentioned the idea, I think it was Ruthven, about collective efficacy. Now, collective efficacy is an interesting idea. I'll just explain it a little bit. The questions that they ask about collective efficacy are something like this. They ask you to like strongly disagree, neutral, agree or struggle with the following statements. And they have two, like, I could teach well in a good school, these turkeys hold me back, or something like that. And the other question is that you have to disagree is, this school staff helps me teach better. So that you agree with one and disagree with the other, and so on. It gives a measure. But the reason I mention that is because it's something about recognising that we are all in this together, and you are in this together as a staff, and you can support each other and help each other be better. But in a sense, we're all in this together as an enterprise. That we can help each other to do better, to provide the best education for the kids we're teaching, because we want Australia to be a better place. We want the kids to have an education and to understand civic responsibility and to be financially literate and to be able to work in a technological environment that is their future. There was a couple of mentions of technology. If I could just tell a little story that happened to me just this week that actually highlights something about technology that you might like to think about. I had some data analysis. I'd asked some questions. It was really just yes/no questions over 3 or 4 things, and I wanted to do comparisons between them. And the person that was working on this project was actually someone who's really into narrative as a form of research, meaning not into maths so much. And the person had done a whole lot of detailed analysis, just counting the things up one by one and so on. But there were lots of mistakes. And so the way to do this task was to actually put the data into a spreadsheet and then do the analysis via the spreadsheet, which in fact was mathematically much more complex. So if you like, what looks like the pen and paper method was actually the trivial method, and the technology method was the sophisticated method. So don't think by incorporating technology into your teaching you're somehow taking the easy option. You're not. You're preparing the kids for what is the sophisticated way of doing things. And so that the technology has to be front and centre in the sort of experience of the kids. So to do that. One of the issues that a number of people mentioned, the idea of mathletics. Now mathletics is actually, has a lot of things that are good for it. And it does seem to, engages the kids and does lots of interesting things. And so we need to maybe start talking about, okay, well, what's the right way to incorporate that effectively into the program? What are the things we have to, what are the risks of doing it? How can we augment it, really put it into the program to do that? And one of the comments I made about, the long periods that some schools have, to me it would think if you're going to have 3 lessons in the 100 minutes, which is what I would do, to do that, the idea of having 2 lessons and 15 minutes on mathletics or something, carefully chosen and selected for the kids would seem to be a nice way of using the 100 minutes. Because the point is, you have to use the 100 minutes. If you've got 100 minutes, you have to use it. You can't say, oh, well, if I get 50 good minutes, that'll be good enough. It's not good enough. You have to get the 100 minutes is what it is to do that. Look, can I again just reinforce that I think it was just a wonderful celebration of the work that you're doing. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the experience of not only presenting for yourself but listening to each other, to do that because of the quality of it. I really do want to thank all of the schools and the welcome that they've given me into the school, and I've enjoyed the experiences immensely. And also I want to thank Lena for her wonderful work in keeping everyone on track, and especially keeping me on track. So thank you for the experience of being involved, and I wish you well with 2010.